Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tulo Oyani. This morning I would like to look at some developments around docket 375. You'll recall that docket 375 is the docket that says there were no intruders into that house. That Senzo Meyiwa was killed by one of the people in the house. And in essence, docket 375 is saying that the people in the house ought to have been investigated. They ought to have been the first people to have been investigated shortly after the death of Senzo Meyiwa. We saw how this was not done. We saw how basic things like a gun residue test was never conducted on any of the people in that house. We saw how the people came in, the police came in onto the scene, and when they were told that Senzo had been rushed to hospital, they all rushed to hospital, left the scene unattended. And we already know, or we know from our own sources and investigators on the ground, that 636 is a fabrication. That docket is a fabrication. Somebody just spun out of it, just sucked it out of his thumb. There were no intruders into that house. But the most worrying development now that I'm seeing is all the people who are involved in the investigation of 375 have been receiving threats of one sort or another. This was disclosed recently by Sfiso Meyiwa, the brother of Senzo Meyiwa. People have been threatened, to keep quiet about 375. And why should people be threatened because they are saying something about 375? There's something that people want to hide here. There's something that people want to hide. That is why in my investigations, in my interactions with people about 375, you find that there is this veil of secrecy. There's this, fear, around any disclosures around 375. But I have it on record. I have it on record from investigators who were involved with the investigation of this matter, right? That they were simply thrown off the trail. 636 is a fictitious docket because there were no intruders into that house. That is the bottom line. Nothing more and nothing less. Now, when you get threats of any sort, death threats, people are getting death threats and all sorts of threats, then they must shut up about that version that there were no intruders into that house. So this overall campaign can only have one objective. The only objective of those threats is to threaten those, directly involved with the investigation. And those of us who have taken it upon ourselves to rubbish 636 and stand by 375. So it is a move, those threats are just calculated to silence us, So the 375 is dead in the water. Where is docket 375? I've said I will find docket 375 and find out in whose possession 375 is and say to the person in possession of 375, what do you intend to do with 375? I will engage the National Director of Public Prosecutions and say, here is a docket. This is a product of an investigation, right, into the death of Senzo Meyiwa. What do you intend to do with this docket, for God's sake? This docket is the result of hours, a lot of money, and, a lot of money was invested in coming up with 375. Investigations cost money, right? So we cannot just abandon a docket because people are coming up with threats and all sorts of nonsensical, things to just to get us to shut up. Having said that, let me say that I'm very satisfied with the subscriptions that I'm coming with. Are coming up, and the subscriptions that I'm seeing, and the views that I'm seeing. But we will not stop talking about 375. There were no intruders into that house. I stick by that. Those of you who want to make small donations, please continue to do so. And those who are interested in t-shirts, please get in touch with me and I will provide the t-shirts for you. Thank you for watching this video and have a nice day. Thank you very much.